Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother and Dad. Love, Ruth, John, Mark, Pamela, and Patricia. Ruth Smallshaw Ray's Letters to Her Parents, 1959, Part 116. Today's presentation deals with the first part of is based on the first part of the original publication, Smallshaw Family Memories Collection, or SFMC number 48, published on June 19th, 2000. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, March 18th, 1959. Dearest Mother, we enjoyed your letter yesterday. John said you had quite a bit of news in it. I have a parcel here that I'd planned to get packed to you tonight, but can't do both, and the letter is overdue. I'm glad you liked the slides. I didn't know I enclosed one of the christening. Which were they? I have more coming. If I send duplicates, you can send them back. We don't have an automatic slide projector, so just buy the cases to keep the slides in and keep them in order. I'm very thrilled to hear about Connie. I have owed her a letter for some time. Last fall she mentioned a special male friend that she'd had a wonderful summer with and planning to attend supper dances, and then I asked her more and she didn't say anything except she'd had a wonderful birthday. At Christmas, she mentioned coming to a convention in the East in June. She probably didn't want to say too much. I am so happy, though, and John is too. The night Connie left after visiting me one weekend here in Cleveland was the night John proposed. He's got $5,500 in today on his fund drive for the Lake Erie Junior Nature and Science Museum, which puts him over $20,000, and they can start building. Several men had failed to put this over, but John has just had it since fall and made it a success as he always does. We've had bad weather, snow and wind. I drove 6 little girls to dancing last week. We had to dig out the drive after I took John to the bus, then Mark to school, but got stuck coming back in at noon. The fellow next door helped me. He jacked up the end to get it over the big rock as the rear end had spun around over it. 58 degrees predicted for tomorrow. Saturday, when I went to the dentist, I couldn't get the car out of the garage for the deep ruts. I don't have new cavities, but my front upper is loose again, and this time it has to be gold or a porcelain cap, which is $75. Sure wish you hadn't let it get so big when I was young. Sunday I was chairman of 2 streets for the Crippled Children's Drive, Easter Seals. Monday I taught art in Avon Lake for 12-year-olds in the Girl Scout troop. I'm teaching painting for about 10 weeks for their badge. In our parents' class after church, we're studying the teachings in the church, the history. I gave the summary the time before last. We took Mark and Pamela to Sunday school last week. We've all had colds again except baby Patricia. 82-mile-per-hour winds Sunday while in church. Mary Kay played here with Pamela today while her mother went shopping. The day Clarice was in, her mother said her dad was so thrilled, like a day in nursery school. All the things she did here, painted, etc. John watches the children every Saturday now while I go to the doctor and go shopping. He fixes their lunch and supper too. Last Saturday we played bridge at Norm and Millie Mashner's, who John worked with at De Beckman. I was high. This coming Saturday, Shar and Don McQuilkin, the Junior Chamber of Commerce president, are having a buffet supper. Tomorrow night I go downtown to the Junior Chamber of Commerce Auxiliary, and Friday is a church supper and talk by one of the nuclear scientists on religion and science. Pamela arises each morning to choose John's tie. She's just crazy about him. We had considered looking for a larger home this summer, but maybe we should plan a trip out to you if you can't make it here. I wonder how Patricia would do on a long car trip. When are you planning your vacation, and where will you go? When is the exhibit in Regina? John said he'd take a month off if we did. I don't feel brave planning a new baby. They're the most wonderful part of life, really. Make it worthwhile, and we're so lucky to be able to plan and have them. I'll be 35 years old soon, and if we want to have 6. Much love. Good night. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pam, and Patty Ann. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, March 26, 1959. Dear Mother, I just finished packing the parcel, so I thought I'd drop you a note about it. We usually get John's mother an Easter plant, and John asked if I was going to send you an Easter gift. When I explained the parcel, he said, "What? Old ties? Some Easter gift?" He's afraid Dad will be insulted, but you can give them away if you don't like them. I cleaned off John's tie rack. I also got Dad his lunch kit. If he doesn't like it, that's okay, because Mark said he'd use it next year if Grandpa doesn't like it. I thought it had a pint Bakukan, but only a half. I also got your slippers. Last week I bought a little boy's linen summer jacket. A friend saw me and said, "How old is Mark anyway?" Everyone laughed at me, but I thought Brian could use it now, and then I'd like to have it back for our next boy. I also included the little white linen jacket Mark had for Carol's wedding when he was a year and a half, and navy pants. I do wish you'd seen him when he was that age. He was so cute. You never saw him in that outfit. Also included 7 little shirts. Want them all back, and a little pink panty and top set for Janet, but want them back later. I hate to be an Indian giver, but I've saved them for our next baby. We managed to get Olive's parcel from Pam away last night. John said it was good of me to send it, but I also said it really wasn't, for I'd planned to for 9 years, so really late. I also planned to send something to Norma, Elsie, and Minnedosa. Any ideas? Olive sent Pam a blue wool toque and scarf set. Poor Mark has had another serious ear infection and he's on sulfa. I feel so sorry for him. Patty has a fresh cold too. It was up to 64 degrees and Patty wanted to go out so badly. She hugs her snowsuit and says, "Bye-bye." She calls Pamela, "La-la." Pam has a bad scratch on her face from wrestling with 5 boys, all older than Mark. Mark asked me if there really was such a person as Jesus Christ. Pamela assured him instantly. She also told him that Adam and Eve didn't come first, but Mother Nature came before them. First there was God, then Mother Nature, then Adam and Eve, then all the people and houses. I went to the Junior Nature and Science Center Museum this afternoon. I'm on the board. Another lovely home on Beechcliff Boulevard. They were so thrilled with John's accomplishment of getting the building fund money. He had a long-distance phone call tonight from New York, so I called him at the hotel at JC meeting. He has an appointment to see about another $5,000 on Monday. That was the long-distance call. He also phoned today that at the noon meeting today, they nominated him president of the Big Brother movement. He's only been in a year. When he took the children down to the dinner 2 years ago, they sat at the head table, and Pamela sat next to someone and carried on quite a conversation with the executive secretary of the Cleveland Area Church Federation, Dr. Bruce Whitmore. John was also a Lenten speaker at church. He was also a Lenten speaker at church. John is just a natural executive. He just goes on and on. At church, an older woman asked me how I like to be married to the young man about Cleveland, and wasn't I proud of him? I may have mentioned this before. I told Pam she had a cute little body. She said, "You do too, Mommy,"
especially the milk things."
She put her head on me.
"It's a good thing they're not hard."
I have good news about my tooth. I called my old dentist on the east side, and he said to come in and see him. He went without lunch and put in a new plastic filling that they paint in with a little brush. He matched it beautifully, $15. I never know I had a filling. Took him an hour and a quarter. I left home at 11 o'clock a.m. and an hour and a quarter drive each way. He said it would be a shame to put in gold or cut down a good tooth to put a cap on. I was so grateful. When I apologized for spoiling his day, he said he just planned to repot orchids. I mentioned Ted Zook, and he said, "Why, he's Mr. Orchid in Cleveland and one of the top orchid men in the country." Ted Zook is the past president of the Orchid Society, and Dr. Bell is the president now. Evelyn is secretary of it. I called to cancel my appointment with the dentist over here, and he very dryly wished me good luck on the plastic filling. He won't use plastic. The last one lasted 7 years. We'll see. John goes to church downtown Good Friday, and I have a sitter so I can go to the 3-hour service. Communion tomorrow night, and hope we all can go at 8 o'clock a.m. on Easter. I'm watching George Kaufman on television, and he looks just like Dad. Acts like him too, but quieter. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pam, and Patty Ann. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, March 31st, 1959. Dear folks, your Easter eggs arrived today, and thank you for them. We also got Bud's letter suggesting that we stay with them if we came. John agreed that we probably scared you with the prospect of us visiting you. We'll have to think about it, but it's a long way for Patty, maybe too much for us all. The reason John suggested taking a month would be so we could take a long trip driving up and back and break it up into small trips, maybe go via the Badlands. We'll have to discuss it further. His friend is taking an African trip in September, and John has always wanted to do that, and he's also considered taking Pam to Los Angeles to the Big Brothers Convention, since Mark went to California last year. The reason I suggested the Saskatchewan trip was if we have a baby next spring, it would be another 3 years from now before we could think of it. If we come, Mark and Pam would love the bunk beds in the basement, if you still have them. We've had a busy time. I went to Maundy Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. communion. Hannah looked quite uncomfortable. I also got a babysitter and went to Friday service, and John left work and went downtown. Dick and Joan bought a new house 2 streets back of us, and John helped them with the papers. We saw it Friday night, and then they came here for dinner. Ham, scalloped potatoes, corn, tangerine jello salad, peach pie, and coffee. They said it was good. So good. Saturday I prepared for Easter but was sick, so John took the kiddies while I slept in the afternoon. Sunday we got up at 6 o'clock a.m. to get all ready for 8 o'clock a.m. communion. Mark and Pam went up to the altar rail with us. Mark got compliments on being so good. We went to Sandusky for Easter dinner. Dick and Joan were there for the weekend, and Carol's family came for supper. John took movies of the Easter egg hunt. John's mother was very complimentary on the raising of our children, said that they were always immaculate, well-dressed, and groomed, and well-behaved. She said I was a very good daughter-in-law, and that I'd appreciate that more when my children got married. Pamela about broke up the Sunday dinner. She was telling everyone that she could wiggle her eyebrows, and thence began to demonstrate. Grandma Ray said that it was much more difficult to wiggle your ears, and could she do that?
No, but Mark can wiggle his pecker.
Dick about died, and I'm sure Bud will. Pam's a character. Mark got 14 eggs, Pam 13, and Lisa got 2. When Grandma was counting them, Lisa said,
"You'd better count mine. Maybe I was the winner."
Dick and Joan's house is quite nice, 2 bedrooms and a bath up. They paid $18,200 for it and had $8,800 cash. Don't you think Olive would like to visit Norma and Alf on her trip? She could take a round-trip train from New York to California via Regina with stops all the way. My trip from Florida round trip only cost $140. Chicago, Winnipeg, Regina, Saskatoon, Edmonton, Calgary, Banff, Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, Chicago, and Florida. It's just as cheap or cheaper than breaking it up. Bus travel is so wearying for long stretches. I found that Regina to Cleveland one very rough, although very cheap. She could go Boston, Cleveland, Regina, Vancouver, Seattle, Los Angeles, and back. See more country. Just the trip to Sandusky was a lot for Patty yesterday. When we came from church, she was sitting on a little chair holding her dolly and her banky. She was really waiting for me. They had 32 children in the nursery. The church was packed at 8 o'clock a.m. We had to sit on chairs. John bought Mark a new suit, navy jacket and light gray slacks, and I got Pam a new pink coat. We had many compliments on our family. Tonight I taught art in Avon Lake, a finger painting. Mark and Pam had a session this afternoon. Hope you all had a happy Easter. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pam, and Patty. Now here's a letter from Pamela. Pamela Ruth Ray.
Dear Grandma, those chocolate ones were very delicious, and that was very nice of you to do that for us. The names got broken. What a shame. When you went to all that trouble. But we think the marshmallow is so good. Yum, yum. Love, Pamela. P.S. Did you hear this? When Grandpa was sleeping, Daddy took a picture and woke him up. I thought that was funny. He was snoring too. Mark told me. My mother has put a red bandage on and a green and yellow, and she put medicine on first. The little fish has not died yet. I hope he doesn't. Patty is so cute. I like her. She is writing too on my card. One time I got a bath and my hair washed, and Mother gave me a new package of combs, red, yellow, and blue. I like the purse Joan gave me. Auntie Olive sent me a bride book and flowers. We had an Easter egg at Grandma's. Mark got 14 eggs. I got 13 and Lisa got 2. Mark won some M&M chocolate peanuts. We had a nice celebration. Love, Pamela. Pamela's bed. An unsolicited story by Pam as we made beds this morning. Albert is the name of my bed. Albert spends all morning chasing butterflies. Sometimes when I lie on him, he pinches me if I have a pain, and if I drink Pepsi Cola, he throws it in my face. Sometimes when I go to parties, he sneaks into the car and tries to go with me. Albert is a boy, but Sweetie is a girl. That's the name of my pillow, 'cause she's sweet and soft. Sometimes Albert pinches Sweetie. Pinky is the name of my sheet. She's a girl too, and so is Barbara, my blanket. The mattress under the boy is a boy also, Johnny. He's been a bad boy to all the girls. He's been pinching them and cutting and fighting. Poor Johnny is tired because he's under the whole bed and they're all on him. He might have to go to the hospital. All the girls are his girlfriends. Barbara the blanket and Sweetie sleep all morning. They're flowers and they'll get up and find Easter eggs on Easter and Valentine's on Valentine's Day, and they wake up on all the happy days. Isn't that nice? 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, April 23rd, 1959. Dear Mother and Dad, I always find it hard to believe when I discover it's been so long since I wrote last. We're busy as ever. This past weekend we took the kiddies to a pancake day luncheon and they met Aunt Jemima again. Pam told her she had a picture of her at home. I had a shot from the doctor, and then we went to a dinner party at Dick and Marilyn Garrett's. They have a lovely new home. Then 5 couples of us went to the Junior Women's Club dance at the Lakeshore Hotel. Sunday at 7:30 a.m., John went bird walking, and I went to church, and Sunday night
we took the first lady of the theater in Cleveland to a play at the Playhouse. She's an old actress who knew John Barrymore. I'd met her at Music Carnival last summer when I helped her out of a car, and later we drove her to her hotel. Monday I taught art, and John bowled. Tonight John has a meeting for the Lake Erie Junior Nature and Science Center, the Junior Museum. They break ground May 11th. He conducted an hour-and-a-half meeting at noon and had one at 4 o'clock p.m. and also Thursday. I have a procedure manual committee at John's office tomorrow night. Bridge is in the afternoon. A couple of weeks ago, I was ironing until 1:30 a.m. Wednesday, Thursday, home at 2 a.m. from a shower in Beechwood. Friday, I babysat for Johanna until 3:30 a.m., and Saturday we went to another dance until 2 o'clock a.m. Sunday morning, when I buttoned Pam's jacket at 7:15 a.m. for the bird walk, she said, "Mommy, you're getting to look older than Daddy." That day we had John's folks for dinner and supper. Tomorrow I have a bridge luncheon, and Johanna will babysit. The children have had coughs, and Mark threw up Sunday night and Monday. A classmate threw up on his Easter jacket Friday, and he caught the bug. Patty is quite sick today. Last week it was up to 78 degrees, and the neighbors were in sunsuits, and the tulips were out. And this week it's 30 degrees and cold, and the kitties are in snowsuits. Hannah had pneumonia a couple of weeks ago. Reverend Brown told her to not go to church anymore. She's very, very big, can hardly walk. John wrote a letter for Olive, and I must write to her. He sent her a copy. We had a bridge party a couple of weeks ago. I thought you might use the tally fronts. Must say good night. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pam, and Patty. To be continued. Well, that concludes today's presentation. You might consider checking out our website, Adventures in History with Peter J. Ray at peterjray.com. So far, we've made 674 history videos in 7 areas: world history, American history, book reviews, poetic tours, Cleveland baseball, family history, and autobiography. There's a donate feature. You might consider making a donation so we can continue making these videos. You also might consider if you're looking for a high school in Metro Manila, Philippines, you might consider Restless Educational Center. Restless is located in Barangay Maytunas on Allenby Street, not far from the corner of Pigavar and Wilson Street. At Restless, we specialize in helping young people who have had difficulty in the larger traditional high schools. It's a warm, supportive community, and we try to be creative and innovative. It's more than a school; it's a community. And the website is restless.education. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.